Uvela Kuka Radio. This is Nkosy SA. Get to seize the day. It's a sport bars. And today's show, as you know, it's Tuesday. I'm bringing you the scores on different boards, on different sports codes. As you know, I told you before, NBA is back. Shout out to all NBA fans who are watching this show and also listening to Car Radio. Also tell your friends, tell your mother, tell your sister, tell your brother. The show is on right now on Car Radio, and also you can find us on Facebook. I'm live on Facebook right now. I'm live on YouTube, Car Radio. Just go to YouTube Car Radio. You're gonna subscribe, and then also go to Car Radio on Facebook. You're gonna find me there, and also go to our Car Radio and listen to the radio 24/7. In today's show, as I'm starting, and I'm gonna start differently. I'm just gonna start with NBA. I was so excited by seeing the matches that's already started, the pre-season matches. This is how they play. I know some of you will be disappointed at some of the scores, but the guys are still coming from the break. You can still understand. And one of the things, other big stars weren't on the games, like the game of Lakers and Brooklyn Nets. We didn't have LeBron James or Westbrook. We had other players who were in the game, and also in Brooklyn Nets we didn't have Durant. So the game was played. The guys, they were testing each and every player they can play with. But by the way, the scores are standing like this. Lakers 96 ehlulwa ke Brooklyn Nets ngo 123 of 97 on Friday. And then also today we had Raptors against Philadelphia Sixers, of which Philadelphia Sixers are beaten 123 of 107. And then we also had Hawks, as you know them, they play they played last time. They played very beautiful game. For the person who was seeing NBA for the first time, the Hawks are one of the big teams in Mahlonipayo. Hawks were beaten by my Heat 125 of 99 on Namhlanje. And also we had Celtic against Magic, of which Celtics were beaten by they win from a Magic 98-97. This shows that this game was a tough game. We have Jay Brown scoring 25 points in a single match, of which he was the star in the match. I like what I see here. This game means that there was lots of gameplay. Abadlali, they were performing, all of them. They wanted to win, but only 1 point separates the clubs. And then we have Timberwolves against the Pelicans, of which Timberwolves are winning 117 of 114 under the game difference, 3 points only. Wow, this is what I like about sports. They always a balance. There is no team that you can say it can easily win or it can easily lose. Every team is competitive, especially here in NBA. We have big teams and we have average teams, and we have teams that we don't notice in the game. But when I'm looking at the scores of today, they were very, very, very surprising and very good. Then we had Amadanda and the Hornets. Then the Hornets are winning 113 of 97. And then Spurs are host Jazz, and then Jazz ahlulwa Spurs go 111 of 85. Again, another club that is not new in this channel and is getting beaten by another club. Then we have Trail Blazers against the Warriors. The Warriors are winning as their name. They were in the war. The Warriors, they won 121 of 107. And then we had the Kings, playoff winners, Suns, Phoenix Suns. They did very good last season, but in this game the Kings beated them 117 of 106. Again, these guys are showing these guys, the Kings are showing these guys who are the Kings. By the way, in the match, only the guy who scored 18 points, or Ash Baines, 18 points. Others they score 15 and 14s. And then we had LA Clippers against the Nuggets, a score 103 of 102. Another game so difficult. Sorry about that. So difficult as well. 1 point difference shows that these guys are competitive. Tomorrow I have other games that are continuing so that you won't miss. We have Knicks against the Pacers tomorrow, go one ebusuku, and then Rockets against the Wizards go 2, and then we have Bulls against the Calvers. We have Grizzlies against Bucks, and then we have Lakers and Suns as well on Thursday, and then we have Pistons against the Spurs on Thursday. On Thursday we have Hawks and Calvers as well. The game continues. They continue. You can check them. Just go and check and write NBA. Then it's gonna show you the scores and results on Google. You're gonna find the results there. And then we had rugby. I told you before that rugby is back. Rugby. We had matches. In the weekend. I'm just gonna start ngomhla 3. Dragons played against Leinster. The score was 7-6. Mind you, these guys, they play a full game, not a half game. 7-6 in rugby is a small score, but it shows that these clubs were competitive. And then we have Oli Press against Cardiff. Then we get Mori Press winning 18-14. And then we have Monsters winning against Stormers, the game that we're talking about. Stormers, they lost 34 of 18 against Monsters. They talked about Stormers in the first half. They were leading 15-0, and then the home side after second half they came back and they claimed their spots. And then we have Zebra losing against Elsa. Elsa away, and then they won 36 of 3. And then we have Glasgow against Sharks. Sharks are losing again at 35-24 rather. This was round 2 of their match, and then in the league. I'm gonna just give you the top 5 according to conferences because of the time, and I want to just to go to other sport codes and get. Then Heavy Betson against Edinburgh, and then Benetton winning 28-27. Another difficult match. What a game! I wish I can watch with some. I would watch a rugby with someone. And then we had Scarlets against the Emirates Lions at 36-13, and then we have Connaughts versus Bulls. Bulls are losing with 34 of 7. It's what I see here. Some of us will be disappointed at South African teams that are not doing well, but they're facing the best of the best in the world. I think they need the challenge so that they can do us proud on the Springboks when they're in a team of Springboks. Then we have the top 5 here around the world. Number 5 is Benetton, and number 2 with the 8 points. Then we have Oppress with 8 points as well. The Bashianaging different points. 43, 47. And then we have Leinster taking the dead spots on 9 points. And then we have Alsha with 10 points. And then we have Munster actually number 1 with 10 points as well. This is rugby, and there's a lot that you're gonna learn as the time goes on. Let me just quickly go to soccer. Let's go to our biggest league in the world that we all respect and know. The time is at 13:13. As I'm continuing with sports, just make sure just go to our Facebook page, just like our page, and also go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, and put a notification bell on as all the time we go live. And what I need to do is there's something that other people have requested to me, and I've bring them on the spot. I know Gutsige, okay, soccer is compulsory and other sports codes, but the other sports codes that they weren't included in the game, like rugby and also NBA. I just included them because they're people who were in behind me. Let me start here by English Premier League. English Premier League, we had games in weekend, and we're just gonna tell you right now what's in Zagaleni. Maybe we'll discuss some kancane as I go on. We have Manchester United 1-1 draw against the Everton. Again, we know we see there's something I need to say on this radio. I'm not a person who criticizes people. I just look things from the distance and analyze myself. It doesn't mean that if there is a star team there's a star player in the team, we all have to look at that player and say if the team didn't do well, maybe that player didn't perform as well. We must mind that also they are human beings as well. I know we see after the game you draw against Everton, you'll expect that Ronaldo would have scored or Ronaldo would have made the team win, but he's the human being. He makes mistakes as well, and he can't play alone in the team. You need a team. That's why it's called a team, because they all play. He's just a star player who plays a very beautiful game. And then again, because I'm just gonna get into other stories as I continue. Burnley decided to draw all 0-0 against Norwich home. Then Chelsea won it 3-1 on Southampton against Southampton. This game was so dramatic and so amazing to watch. And by the way, let me explain what happened in the match. As it 3-1, so the people who were watching the game with me, they're gonna confess that Chelsea would have won by 5-1 in the game, but because of the two goals, the first one was Lukaku's offside and the second one was Azpilicueta's foul. After the foul, okay, by the way, overseas they use VAR to confirm things after izinto zenzekile. By the way, into yenzekile, Azpilicueta injured uwise umdlali Southampton down, and then wasecrossa ibhola until lahamba uref ingajajanga igame iqhubeka yakora iChelsea. They calculated the goal as the goal, and then referee had to go and check because some of the players were complaining and said there was a foul, and they was checking, and then when they checked Azpilicueta ubeke indoda phansi, and then Chelsea had to suffer bamayenazelwa igoli elilodwa balikorile, and then Chelsea was 1-0 ahead. And also as well, there was a second goal, yabibe offside ya Lukaku, and then after then in that same drama, yaseke yakorage penalty. Southampton, a goal by Wood-Prowse, the star player lapha Southampton, and then after he scored the goal, the game was 1-1, and they thought Chelsea, as they play home, most of the fans were giving up on the game because they saw that there were no goals, and those two goals were disallowed. And then afterward, Prowse got a sloppy red card that we didn't notice, and nakhona improve with VAR, of which nakhona maybe I need to talk about VAR because it been impacting soccer around the world, because there were things that were happening behind the scene that already bangayiboni, but now they are able to be shown in different angles so that the referee can make his own accurate decision on what to do. Because last time I even talked about the goal line technology, that if the player scores, if the ball crosses the line, referee doesn't have to look at the cameras or check the screens. If the ball crosses the line, his watch vibrates, so there's no need to confirm. That's how technology grown in sports, and then it's helped a lot of things. Because I'm talking about this because one of the goals of Chelsea was blocked by a goalkeeper, but he blocked it while he was inside. While the game continues, referee shown blew his whistle and said it's a goal. I like technology, and that technology is growing in sports and it's make things very easier for us. And Chelsea decided to win 3-1 after the two losses they suffered last 2 weeks. And then we have Leeds winning 1-0 against Watford. Then we have Wolves against Newcastle United, which Wolves are winning 2-1. And then Brighton, it decided to draw an Arsenal 0-0. And then we have Crystal Palace against Leicester City, also as well another draw 2-2. Now league is reaching the stage where the club are starting to stabilize, are starting to defend, and starting to notice that the league is continuous. There are people who are sitting in the top, there are people who are relegated, so everyone is fighting. That's why you see all these draws. And then you have Tottenham Hotspur. After the 3 losses, they decided to win in this one. Tottenham Hotspur 2-1 against the Aston Villa. Then we have West Ham United losing against the Brentford 2-1. Again, I'm still gonna talk about the Brentford. This team is doing wonders in English Premier League. I wish to see them sitting in the top, competing with one of the best, because this club has been absent in the Premier League for decades. And then I continue. We had another big game. People were expecting the game. People were looking at the game. People were commenting, were talking to me, say, hey, you need to talk about the game, Man City and Liverpool. This game was so amazing. This game, they had to decide who stay in the top. Then Liverpool scored 2 goals, and also Man City scored 2 goals. Of which, this game was tough. Draw. Liverpool was home. And then the Liverpool, by the way, is still the team in Premier League that hasn't been beaten after 7 games. By the way, this is how the table stands. Number 5, Everton, topping to the 5th spot, 7 games, 5 goal difference and 14 points. Then number 4, Manchester United did drop to the 4th spot, 7 games, 8 goal difference, 14 points. And then Man City at that spot with 7 games, 11 points and 11 goal difference and 14 points. Then on number 2, we had Liverpool, and still Liverpool, 7 games, 11 goal difference, 15 points. Then we have number 1 now sitting on the top of the table right now, currently Chelsea, with 5 games, 1 draw, 1 lose, 12 goal difference and 16 points. This is how the league, this is how the things were standing England, or we Premier League, one of the leagues. And then we said let's go now at Germany, we Bundesliga. This is how things went. Starting on Friday, FC Cologne 3-0, 3-1 against the Groteford. On Friday it was the only game. Then on Saturday we have Borussia Dortmund winning against the Augsburg 2-1. By the way, Haaland might be absent here for a few weeks or few days because of the injury after the game. Then we have Wolfsburg losing against the Borussia Mönchengladbach 1-3, and then we have Stuttgart 3-1 against the Hoffenheim. Hoffenheim losing away, and then we have Hertha Berlin losing against the Freiburg 2-1. Then we have RB Leipzig winning 3-0 against Bochum. I just wish how the league is standing, because I'm seeing the most 3 points in the stats, in these results, Bundesliga or German league. And then on Sunday we had Union Berlin against the Mainz, Union Berlin winning 2-1. And then we have Bayern Munich losing for the first time, beaten by Frankfurt. I think Liverpool is still the team that has been beaten in the league. in one of the top leagues. Is they still prove to be the big club. Arminia Beled losing 4-0, losing 0-4 against the Bayern Leverkusen. And then this is how the league is standing. Wolfsburg dropping to the 5th spot. By the way, after the 4 games, this club Wolfsburg was standing in the top of the table, and now they are dropping and dropping and dropping. And now they've dropped into their 5th spot, 7 games, 1 goal difference, and 13 points. Then we have Freiburg taking the 4th spot, 7 games, 6 goal difference and 15 points. And then Borussia Dortmund is still standing on the 3rd spot, 7 games, 6 goal difference, 15 points. And then Bayern Leverkusen taking the 2nd spot, 7 games, 13 goal difference, 16 points. This was surprising because bengazi ngiyibone isho top 5 yethu sihlezi siyenza la ku Car Radio Sees the Day. It's a sport buzz. And then number 1 is none other than Bayern Munich here with the only lose and draw. And then they have win all the 5 games, and they played 7 games, 17 goal difference and 16 points. And now sekuzobalula ukuthi sikwazi ukubona who is doing who is doing very good in the leagues, because now we're gonna reach the game number 10 in the league, because currently most of them, they're in the 7th and 6th and also 5th. So after 10 games we need to monitor and see how does the things stand. Now let us go to Italy. With Serie A. This is how the things were standing. On Friday we had the only match of the draw, 1-1, Venezuela against the Cagliari, and they're taking 1 point each. Santina decided to beat Girona 1-0, taking 3 points. And then you have Torino beaten by a struggling Juventus. The old lady is struggling this season. They have worse performances, but again now they are just coming back, winning 1-0 against Torino. Then you have Suoane versus Inter Milan, and Milan won 2-1. Then on Sunday we have Bologna winning 3-0 against the Lazio, taking 3 points as well. We have Verona 4-0 against the Spezia. I told you before, I love when I see many goals, because goals, they define soccer. I don't mean that other places when there are no goals it's not soccer, but that defines soccer if there are many goals in the game. And let me talk about this game as well, as I'm talking about goals. This game is 6 goals. Sampdoria against Udinese, they decided to take 1 point each, scoring 3-3 in the game. 6 goals in the match. This is called sports. This is called soccer. Then we have Fiorentina losing against Napoli 2-1. Then we have Roma winning 2-0 against the Empoli. By the way, Mourinho, the manager for Roma, is in his 45th game unbeaten in Italy. This manager is doing very good in the league, and it seems to be promising. I need to see Roma lifting the cup, but I don't know what the league defenders are gonna do. Inter Milan. And then we have Atalanta losing against the AC Milan 3-2, the one that you're monitoring. AC Milan, by the way, have done very good. And now looking at the league, how does it stand? Let us go. Starting on the 5th point, Fiorentina is taking the 5th spot, 7 games, a -1 goal difference, 12 points. And then we have Roma with 7 games, X goal difference, 15 points. Then we have Inter Milan dropping to the 3rd spot. After the draw they had, 5 games and 2 draws, 5 games win and 2 draws, and they on the 14 goal difference and 17 points. Then we have AC Milan taking the 2nd spot, 7 games, 10 goal difference, 19 points. Now, there's something that you didn't notice. Like I told you, now the teams are going to be exposed which team is performing. Now we have a new club in our top 5. Napoli sitting on the 3rd spot, and let me read their stats, how they're standing. 7 games, 7 wins, 15 goal difference, 21 points. These guys are unbeaten. Now they're joining Liverpool with the stake of no lose in the league, of which is a good thing. But these guys, they win, no draw, no lose. They're winning 7 games straight. I should see how they're gonna continue. I've heard one of their star, they want to buy him, but I'm not gonna expose that. I'm gonna be here on Thursday talking about him. Who is the star player in this club? What is making this club very, very good? Now let us move on into different league. Let us go to France, the French league, the Ligue 1, how things went. Abanye bathi is Messi league, because people here, most people, they didn't know there's Ligue 1, or maybe they didn't notice Ligue 1, but after Messi arrived in Paris Saint-Germain, people started to watch the league and enjoy. And now things started on Friday. We have Lens against the Rennes, of which we win Lens and go 2-0. Then we have Montpellier taking 1 point against Strasbourg, 1-1 is score. And then on Sunday we have Rennes beating a PSG, and now their stake of winning of no lose has ended. PSG losing against the Rennes, a disappointing game I want to talk about before the game before the show even started. Here on Facebook, by the way, people who were on radio, they heard me that Messi, they say Messi is struggling and they're criticizing him after the loss in the game, but Pochettino and other clubs are protecting PSG after this game. Also, what I've mentioned before, I'm not the person who criticizes. This is the game. Also, Messi is a human being. We make mistakes, or sometimes we won't perform onto our hundreds if there are no people who are helping us, because it's the team which is playing, not Messi. By the way, the trio was there, and people are commenting. They are talking about the trio. MNM, Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe. This trio when it was announced, many clubs were fearing PSG, but looking at the stats right now, how PSG is doing, it doesn't look as they promised. It doesn't look as it's promising, but the guys are still learning on one another. But I don't know what is going to happen. Like I'm telling you, I'm not the one who criticizes. I don't like to criticize. Then let's move to the second game. Angels 3-2 against the Mets. Angels taking 3 points. 5 goals in the game. I like to see that. Then Heavy Rolente against the Clermont, drawing again 1-1. We have Monaco taking 3 points against the Bordeaux, or go 3-0. We have Nantes winning 2-0 against the Troyes, taking 3 points against again Lapo in Nantes. Then you have Lille taking 3 points at beating Marseille 2-0. Then you have Vicente Etel drawing against Lyon. Lille are doing very well, but I can't wait to see them doing well in the league. But they are not in our top 5, but we're gonna see them soon. We'll see how they are performing. This is how the league stands. Number 5, Marseille dropping to the 5th spot. 8 games at the moment, but it might change the league standings. A game abazoidlala against Nice, I believe, because now they have 8 games in their hand. Okay, then Ibonageba no 4 goal difference and 14 points, and then number 4 Angels, that was dropping to the 4th spot now with 9 games, 5 goal difference and 16 points. Then number 3 Nice, number 3, mind you, is on a game in hand, 13 goal difference. These guys didn't want to consider more. They have 17 goals and 4 goals against them, and then the goal difference is 13 and 16 points. And then Elance taking the 2nd spot. For the first time, I see the team standing in this position. Like I'm saying, me. It's sitting on the 2nd spot, 9 games, 6 goal difference, 18 points. And then you have none other than PSG still sitting on the 1st spot here with 9 games, 13 goal difference, and 24 points. Even though they were beaten, but they still leave a gap on number 2, Lens. They're behind with 6 points. PSG, you can criticize, but they're doing well in the league because six points difference is a huge thing in soccer. It may seem like 2 games, but PSG is a big club. They can win all the games alandelayo, and you will draw and sometimes lose, but it's sitting on the very good spot lapha ku number 1. Let us move. I know ukuthi sinememeza abaningi want to hear ukuthi kwenzakaleni ke eSpain. Let us go to Spain kwi La Liga. La Liga, by the way, on Friday we have the only match, the Atletico Bilbao against the Alves, which Bilbao winning 1-0 and taking 3 points. Then we have on Saturday we have Osasuna winning 1-0 against the Royal Vallecano, and then we have 1-0 win Mallorca beating Levante 1-0 taking 3 points. Cadiz and Valencia decided to share 1 point each, and then they draw a 0-0 in the game. And then you have Atletico Madrid, the defending champions, beating Barcelona 2-0. Again, another disappointing team. Barcelona, we know them as a very, very big club. We know them as a well-respected club and winning and scoring goals. After Messi departure, things started to get very bad in Barcelona. By the way, they are still in debt as well. So in Camp Nou, things are not going very, very well. They're not going in their favors. Players are getting cut. Their salaries are getting cut. The coach, he might be sacked. Roman Koeman might leave the club as well. The club, Nxumalo, under debt, and then as well the club is not winning, is not scoring so many goals. It's not doing very well in the league. Maybe I'm just going to expose their sports in the league so that you can see how bad Barcelona is doing currently this season. Then on Sunday we have Elche 1-0 against the Celta Vigo, Elche taking 3 points. Then you have Espanola winning 2-1 against Real Madrid. For the first time, Real Madrid losing the game in the league. So bonage sebiyasuka lapha ko Liverpool na ko Lyon na kwi Napoli, of which bona they haven't been beaten in the league. Sebiyasuka ke bona lapho after they are lost na ke PSG na basukile. And then we have Getafe 1-1 against the Real Sociedad. And then we have Villarreal winning 2-0 against the Real Betis, and then you have Granada winning 1-0 against Sevilla. I know some of us, maybe amanyama team ala Aswazi, but as the time goes on, I'm going to give you the results, and also I'm going to expose as well their star players, because each team has their own star, and noticing the star, you will find the team so very, very good playing, because as I'm going to mention the top 5 La Liga, it's going to surprise you that you're going to see the teams that you not usually see in this sports or you heard in this show. Number 5, taking the 5th spot, Osasuna. 8 games, 0 goal difference, 14 points. I'm still talking about number 5. Already you're puzzled. How did this happen? Osasuna, we know that as a team this is always standing in the 20th spots, 15, 17. But now they're taking the 5th spot. 8 games, La Pagano, 14 points. Then number 4 remaining, the Sevilla, 7 games, and they can still change the game if they can win the 8th game. If they can win the 8th game, they can change how things are standing. They can even stand in a second position because Bonabasa game A. We have Real Sociedad, 8 games, 4 goal difference. Another team that I'm still monitoring from the distance. How are they doing their things? What keeps them so clean and winning the games? Because like I told you, if you can watch the team and look for their stars, you will find out what makes the team so good or make them win. 4 goal difference, 17 points. Then on number 2 we have Atletico Madrid, the defending champions, 8 games. I basically Babanik 5 goal difference, 17 points. Then on number 1, none other than Real Madrid, 8 games, 12 goal difference, 17 points. 3 people have 17 points. We had this thing in English Premier League and the Premier League 1 point. These guys are just ngama goal difference. That is gonna call for one team to stand out in Impela after the few games. After 3 games, this thing is gonna decide to see who is the best of the best. And then again, moving on. Now that I'm done with the top 5 leagues in the world, let us not close our mind. This was I saved the best for last. Our league, PSL or DStv Premier League. I love the league. I watch the games. It's so nice to watch our leagues from here, our league here in South Africa, watching our teams play. And on Sunday we have on Saturday we have Amazulu against the Kaizer Chiefs, 1-1 draw, of which Kaizer almost lost the game after Okikendoli scoring the penalty at the 90th minute. Kaizer was really lucky in that game. Chipa United drawing against the SuperSport United 0-0, taking 1 point. Then TX Galaxy beaten by Skukule United 1-0. This is going to change how the league is standing here in South Africa. These scores here are going to change the league, I'm telling you. Baroka drawing 1-1 against the Stellenbosch. Then have a Cape Town City drawing against the Orlando Pirates 1-1. Another tough game that we also seen, of which we were expecting Pirates or either Cape Town City to win at least with 3 goals. I don't know. These clubs are doing very well in the league currently. We're going to expose their position as well. And then on Sunday, we have the Royal AM against the Maritzburg United, of which Royal winning 2-1. We have the Golden Arrows beating Imorumo Gallants go 3-1. How other clubs did with the Imorumo Gallants, because it was saying team dancing Shilovel. Mamelodi Sundowns, the defending champions, 3-0 beating Moroka Swallows. Iswai Bafetso Lashango 3-0. Sundowns is still unbeaten in the league. I don't know how the things will go as the league continue. We need the team that is going to challenge Mamelodi Sundowns, but already I have my own teams that I know that in a few games coming, maybe 5 games, they're going to challenge Mamelodi Sundowns, because I know in these 5 games, Mamelodi Sundowns have to lose at least 1 game, or they can pocket 3 draws. I don't care. But this league will be so enjoyable and so exciting. Number 5, Golden Arrows taking the 5th spot, 6 games, 1 goal difference and 9 points. And then on number 4, Stellenbosch dropped again to the 4th spot, 6 games, 5 goal difference, 12 points. And then Irol AM Yanyuga number 3, 6 games, 5 goal difference and 12 points. Then on number 2, Nkosy Leona is SuperSport United, of which is a team that I think that will challenge Mamelodi Sundowns. By the way, any team Thabisile is still sitting on another spot in Sisho. I'm just going to talk about it in maybe on Thursday, because here we give you the news that ongazazi, the inside news, the hidden news, the rumors. I'm still going to talk about it on the next show. Super Sports, 6 games, 6 goal difference, 12 points. These guys, number 4 to number 2, they have 12 points. They can challenge the team. I don't know how, but they can challenge the team. Sundowns is leading with 4 points. Sundowns have 6 games, 11 goal difference. They've never conceded. They've never lost. These guys are showing to be champions in Ngempela, and they are showing that they're defending. This is what you need to see in sports. If you are in the top, just stay there, remain there. Just don't allow anyone to challenge you, anyone to try to beat you. Try by all means. Sometimes doesn't even concede in the match. That shows these guys they are serious. They are serious business in this season. 16 points. Abahleli ngawo 11 goal difference. And then let's go to our league, our favorite league, the league that no one knew that we discovered ourselves. Me and you, we discovered it. This league is from United States of America. It's called MLS, Major Soccer League. I like the name they used, Major Soccer League. It's so major because the country is so big as well. We talked before about this league that they have challenges since their country is so big. United States is so big alone. It can have, according to me, United States can be 54 countries instead of 54 states. They can just be 54 countries. This is how big United States is. But they were able to create the league, Major Soccer League. I applaud them. Then on Saturday the 2nd, we have Austin against the Real Salt, of which Austin winning 2-1, beating Real Salt Lake. Then on Sunday, we have Montreal beating Atlanta United 2-1. We have Cincinnati losing against New York RB. Then we have Orlando City winning 2-1 against the DC United. And then we had Dallas decided to draw against Minnesota United. And then even Vancouver taking 3 points again. Kubanyakazisi bomhlaba ama-SJ Earthquakes awunyakazanga ke umhlaba this time abakwazanga ukunyakazisa umhlaba. Then we have New York City drawing against Nashville SC, and then we have Philadelphia Union taking 3 points with Columbus Crew 3-0. Then we have Sporting KC winning 4-2 against Houston Dynamo. I love this league. I'm gonna say this again and again and again. How many goals these guys score? So many. This shows that maybe to others can show that maybe the league is easy. Maybe the guys they don't have good goalkeeper. Hey, they have good goalkeepers. This shows that these guys, they mean the business when they're going in the game. 4-2 in the game. I love to see that. 6 goals in the match. That is beautiful. That is soccer. Toronto winning 3-1 against the Chicago Fire. 4 goals in the game. Portland Timbers winning 1-0 against the Inter Milan. Again, a disappointment because we know the legend David Beckham. His team is not doing very well. We expect big things from him, but he's a human being as well, just like I've said before. But we're expecting big things from the club. It decided to lose this time because I've talked about it. I discussed this before that 3 months back they weren't doing well, but they came back with some wins and now they are going back into the same state. And then on Monday, yesterday, we have LA Galaxy drawing against Los Angeles 1-1, and then we have Seattle Sounders winning 3-0 against the Colorado Rapids. The team that I'm monitoring from the distance again didn't do very well. Why my teams are not doing very well? And then our top 5, this is how it's standing. There starts with Eastern Conference. We have DC United taking the 5th spot, 28 games, 8 goal difference, 40 points. And then we have 28 games with Orlando City in number 4, 0 goal difference, 42 points. And then we have Philadelphia Union taking the 3rd spot, 27 games. These guys are still 1 game left, but it's one change here. It's that substance here number 2 wabo ubashiya 5 points. They have 10 goal difference, 42 points. Number 2, none other than Nashville SC, 28 games, 20 goal difference, 47 points. These guys are doing so good. I'm still gonna have to watch the highlights of the previous games they played. New England with the first sport, 29 games, 65 points, 23 goal difference. And then we have Western Conference ke sino top 5 corner Real Salt Lake ithatha 50 sports, 28 games, 1 goal difference, 39 points. Portland Timbers, 4 sports, 28 games, 1 goal difference, 46 points. Colorado Rapids, my club, 1 game less. It cannot change their sports though if they win. They're 1 game ahead. They're 1 game behind, 11 goal difference, 48 points. And then number 2, we have Sporting KC dropping from the first spot to the second spot. 28 games again, 52. That can never change ngoba already number 1 ama-Secular Sounders, they have 1 game in hand abasazoyidlala, of which they have 22 goal difference and 52 points. Well done to Secular Sounders to sitting on that spot. And then now, before I wrap up, let me just go to cricket and maybe and tell you with cricket. On Sunday we had the Scotland against the Oma, of which the game igcine ingaphelanga isazoqhutshekwa. And then today we had a game edlalile isiphelile already. My sources confirm here. We have in Namibia and we're playing against UAE, of which in Namibia won by 17 runs. In Namibia did 159 runs with 8 wickets and 20 overs, and then UAE wasn't able to reach 150. They reached 149 of 9 wickets, 20 overs. This is how things were standing. Maybe before I maybe show the time is 13:49. We all love the sports. All people who are watching and listening, thank you for following the show. Every day when I broadcast, you always come and watch my show and also listen to me on car radio. By the way, just tell your friends, tell your mother, tell your father, tell your brothers, tell your sisters, tell your cousins, tell your friends' friends. Nkosy SA is here with sports. I'm giving you everything that you need to hear about sports, give you rumors and news and drama that is happening around sports. As well, that's what you need to not to forget is this: COVID-19 is still there and it still affects us all, and it still affects us in sports as well. What I like to do to those people who go to the sports fields, go to the gym, just take care of yourself so that you'll make your family safe, because this thing is still there, it doesn't change. And also do this, get vaccinated so that everything you'll be free, just like the people who are traveling. For people who are playing at different sports codes, now it's compulsory to do a vaccination. Like for instance, I've mentioned on Thursday that in the Winter Games there were players who were quarantined for 24 days because they weren't vaccinated. So you need to get vaccinated so that you'll make things easier for you, so that you can flow around and move around and do everything that you can do. COVID-19 again still affects sports. Take care of yourself. Look for your family, and also look for yourself. As well, as I'm wrapping up the show, I talked about different sports codes namhlanje, including soccer, rugby, NBA, and also cricket. By the way, tennis I got tournament ezobidlala. I'm gonna tell you on Thursday ukuthi ivula nini, and masivule ngizobe senginika ama results ukuthi kwenzakalani in other sports code nama Winter Games. Now ngisazonikeza ukuthi kwenzakalani kuma Winter Games, because I'm still gonna have to look ukuthi which one I'm giving, because you know the Winter Games are like Olympic Games. There are many sports codes, but I'm gonna give you what I have to give you. I'm gonna give you the hits, the hot ones. I'm gonna give you the hot news as always here in Sports is the Day. And now, as I'm closing, just go to our YouTube channel, just go to Car Radio and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And basically put on that notification bell so that you won't miss each and every video that you see live. And also go to our Facebook page and like our page, Car Radio, and then you get then also listen to Car Radio. Car Radio is 24/7 days of a week. Every time live. By the way, how you get Car Radio, tell your friends just go to Radio Box and search Car Radio, and just press play, and then also go to tune in, download the app, and then the app search Car Radio 1 24/7. This is myself, Nkosy SA. Before I leave, ngisho nodwa, and ngizongishiya the Queen of the Palace. Ngizongishiya the Queen of the Palace. Ethi ngingunguye. Album yakhe iBorn in Zion. Nginthanda nonke. Stay tuned. Same time, same place. You're gonna find me here. Nkosy SA. Seize the days. Sport bars. I love you. Yes.